Well, of course Mario's gonna throw the best parties. He lives in the Mushroom Kingdom. Think about it. Johnny Bravo can't compete with that. In fact, if it doesn't involve hair gel, Johnny Bravo can't compete with much. But like any good Johnny Bravo, that doesn't stop Johnny Bravo from being Johnny Bravo. In Cartoon Network, Block Party. Just pretend you didn't get the RSVP. So this game was released in 2004, just a few months before Mario Party 6, which included a microphone. This one includes disappointment. Obviously, Block Party is a Cartoon Network spin on Nintendo's Mario Party. It plays popular characters from Cartoon Network in a board game with minigames scattered along the way. Big difference is, it's less a party than like an ice cream social for the AV club. The first problem with Block Party is that there's just not much to it. It only has 6 characters. It has 4 game boards. And perhaps the biggest issue, there's only 14 minigames. I mean, within just a few minutes on my very first game board, it was already repeating minigames. In fact, to make matters worse, those 14 minigames seem to be split based on the game board. So, do the math. 14 minigames among 4 boards. That's like around 2 or 3 minigames per board that just keep repeating themselves. That gets old within 2 or 3 minutes. Now, it's fair to note that this is a handheld game, and as such, the small amount of content relative to a Mario Party is a bit more understandable. Of course, there were about 60 minigames in Mario Party's GBA game, but nonetheless, I'll still give this game a pass. Where I won't, however, is in the quality department. There's no quality or quantity, or some other Q word that makes sense. And to be honest, Block Party makes Mario Party's minigames look like Skyrim in comparison. I mean, these are some pretty shallow, pretty terrible minigames. Run around the room without touching bad guys that you can't see until they touch you. Collect more pigs than your opponents, even though they're not actually on the screen with you. In fact, you never see your opponents. You see their fictitious scores at the end. Of course, the reason you don't see anyone is because Block Party isn't really a multiplayer game, at least not technically. There's a multiplayer mode that lets you play on one GBA with up to 3 friends, and that's great. I really like those kind of past-the-system multiplayer modes, but that design choice is reflected in the minigames, which are basically just single-player games against AI opponents that you really don't even compete against in the minigames. That kind of sucks. Cartoon Network Block Party has a few things going for it. It's simple, it's easy to play, and it definitely has a kind of mini Mario Party feel. But it's a little too mini, and although that's kind of understandable, that doesn't make it fun. So either find a new party, or I don't know. You should always have a plan B on the weekends, guys. Especially when one of your options is Cartoon Network Block Party.